fusion. You know, it's. I think that's what it is. All right, you still with me?
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Let me just say,
Oh.
aww.
I think we got. I can't hear you. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait, hold on. Do that again? No, that was my fault.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's my fault. My fucking mic. Sorry, not my mic. My headphones were screwing up. Oh, man,
It's not one thing; it's the other, huh?
I know, right? Like, you know, like I thought I was like, okay, I've got like, I have to go into like for some dental shit today. You know, right? You know, and it's one of those. Please tell me it's good news, and it's like, well, it's predictable news, and I'm like, oh, tell me that. Don't tell me that.
Too far away.
Tell me that, you bastard. You know, and I was like, oh god, can this day please get better? And here's the thing, the day didn't go bad. Like bad things happen for good reasons. Well, like all the complication I've had today ultimately led to something good. The problem is, everything was an interruption of the flow of my day, like everything. And I'm just like, what?
Can I just get done with the day and get in bed?
Yeah. Can I just like not worry about shit for a little bit? The answer is yeah, but only about like a day. You can not worry for like a day, and then after that, fuck you. You know, that's just the way things are. And
get ready for no.
yeah. Just get ready for no. This is not happening. Oh my god. Like, okay, there's one thing that happened, which, like, this thing happened on Twitter. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I've got this like thing that I do, and I know Lala, I know you know it, which is, well, whenever someone comes in and says something like really stupid or really dumb, you know, or really homophobic or whatever,
Can't attack that target.
I either get mad and ignore it, or I reach this kind of strange moment of calm where it's not just, it's this weird moment of calm. All of a sudden, I'm like, I wonder.
Hot when I start stirring.
Yeah. What happens if I actually engage, but on my terms? And the answer is, people fall into really predictable patterns because they really don't know what to do. Because they don't know what angle I'm going to come from.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah, they don't know what angle I'm going to take, you know. You know, and this is something I enjoy doing this when it's something that I actually like. You know, when it's actually, you know, for a cause that I like, you know. But sometimes it's just one of those, like, how?
The power of the light, not when it has champions like you.
Just how?
Yeah, just how? There are a lot of, like, how does this happen? How do people function like this? What color is the sky in their world? You know? Like,
Answer.
what?
I don't know if you want to know that answer.
Well, I mean, like, if you're Black Panther, the answer is purple. You know? Sorry, I thought you said Black Panther, and I was like, well, I guess the sky is...
shit brown for me.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's not Black Panther at all. The sky is purple in Black Panther, and
Oh, is it really?
yeah, you've seen it, right? We go to the spirit world, it's all purple.
Oh, the spirit world, yeah.
Yeah, but like regular world, it's blue like everybody else. You know.
I'm out of range.
Fun. Aw. Drop the thing. Yeah, I'm just Azerothing and chilling at the moment. What does that look like? Ah. Yeah, cool. Anyway, like I'm arguing with this one guy on Twitter, and we were talking about like some dumb fucking thing Jordan Peterson had said, and it was all about like whether or not gay people should be able to adopt. So
That's always a fun argument.
oh yeah, that's a great argument. That's super fucking amazing. But I'm just sort of like, I don't even forget what I said, but it was one of those. Look, it was like some equivalent of like, look at this morose motherfucker right here. It smells like someone shit in his cereal. You know, like it's something like that.
Use this crystal.
Anyway, this one guy comes in, he's like, well, you know, I'd have to see, you know, I guess the research isn't in, but, you know, I'd be worried about growing up in a...
Hey, Count, how are things going? How is your cat doing?
My cat's doing great, by the way. Is once again, being a little shithead. Which is something of a relief, to be totally honest. So I'm asking this dude, what are you talking about? Like, well, I don't want a child to grow up in a one-sided environment. And I'm like, well, you could say the same thing about single parents. What are you talking about? Well, you know, the research isn't in yet. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, we're gonna get into one of these conversations. You know, like, okay, it's gonna be one of these goddamn things. And so I'm trying to figure out, without actually saying it, I'm trying to figure out, am I dealing with like a racist fuck, or is this guy just so autistic that
I don't know. I
he's
feel like you're
not
being mean to autistic people.
well, like, I know plenty of autistic people who get it, but I don't know. Like, I'm looking for an out, you know? I'm looking for any explanation that is not just, I'm a racist shitbag from England. Because he had a YouTube page and I went to it. It's bad. It's real bad.
Closer.
But it really all just came down to, like, he was just like, no, I'm just not convinced by the research. Because, you know, like, there's just not enough of it. And I'm like, what are you okay. Alright.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, whatever. Bye, Felicia, you know?
what does it even mean by research? Like,
Oh, it's just, I know exactly what he means by research, which is, well, you know, I'm really committed to this idea that there's something wrong with homosexuality. So, you know, just whatever.
oh, so because there's not enough research out, that must mean that it's in the wrong and that it shouldn't be done or something like that, right?
Yeah. Or at least there's just no proof you should do it. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, actually, it's one of those like, well, actually, the research is in, and
Brethren are as industrious as they are clever.
it doesn't agree with you.
I fear the
Yeah.
intrusion point leads
And
around it.
Believe it or not, you're actually still an asshole.
yeah, believe it or not, you're actually still a shitheel. And man, this was great. So, I kind of out of the blue, because I was like, I've got a sneak suspicion. He's talking about research. Hey, thanks to James Tulos. You're just testing if this actually works. Okay. Then you may.
I'm just testing if this actually works.
All right. Well, then I am just testing to see if my thanks happens. Thank you. Anyway,
Is churning out darkness,
uh,
manifesting into
where was I?
places of pure void.
Oh yeah, so I just asked him. I'm like, are you a man? Do you consider yourself a man of science or a man of or a man of religion? And the answer was so telling. He was like, well, I think both are flawed. I'm like, oh.
Oh, you're the person that doesn't want to say.
Yeah,
Nice.
you don't want to say. Oh, gee, I wonder why that is. Well, you're just gonna fucking sick the Twitter mob on me. I'm like, oh, no.
No, you're doing
No,
this on
baby
your
cries
own.
a lot. No, baby cries a lot. Fucking, actually, I didn't call him baby cries a lot. Maybe I should have. But, you know, no, you didn't, I didn't sick no Twitter mob on you. You fucking stepped in it. You stepped in it, and now people are mad at you. I didn't have to tell anyone to do shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
They just were like, oh, this motherfucker right here. And they just went in for the kill. You know, it's like, dude.
I can't attack that target.
Oh, and I also love how, he got into an argument. He also got into an argument with, like, Horror Guru. And he's, with Josh. And he's like, oh, well, sorry I hurt you in the fifis. And I'm like, fifis? I'm like, wow, like any fucking like credibility or status you had just went out the fucking window. You know, it's just forget it. You're done. You know, I'm just sitting there going like, what makes these people? Like, he sounds like he's at least in his 20s.
What makes, unfortunately, sperm plays a deal in that.
Yeah. I know.
You know, if we're just going on what makes the people.
Yeah. It's about it. Eggs and sperm, that's pretty much it, you know? But I'm like, but I love, like, but one of the things I really don't like, this is, I'm gonna get, in the Fifi. All right, here's what I really don't like about,
I wasn't even
North
part of this
America.
conversation, and I'm getting, like, the I feel mad jitters.
Yeah, because it's really aggravating, you know? But, like I said, instead of being mad this time, I was just real calm, and I'm just like, wonder what happens if I just start pressing random buttons. Just see what this guy does. You know, is he gonna freak out? Is he gonna?
Button repeatedly.
Yeah. You know, like what happens? And I'm realizing, you know what? This is generally how I approach trolls in with. Maybe I should just keep doing that.
I try not to feed the trolls, but every once in a while, like you said, it's like, I wonder what happens if I just keep pressing this button.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. There's a little known trick that. Oh man.
Don't believe in sense or religion. Were you talking with Hybernist again?
No, I was.
That stapler, by the way.
Stapler's still falling on the ground, and no, it wasn't the Hyperion guy. It was this random dude on Twitter. But like, I've noticed, here's something I don't like about North American. I say North Americans. I don't mean just the United States. I mean America and Canada and all this crap. This is like my big gripe. Just because someone tells you something in a British accent doesn't mean they know what they're talking about. You know, it's just like, oh, he's got a British accent. He must be smart. How dumb are you? You know, like they've got like 40%.
Doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah. 40% of the population of the UK is on the dole. It's because they're all like fucking college graduates, right? No. You know, like no. It's the UK. They actually pay people who are smart there. You know, like you know, like we're the ones who have problems with that. We outsourced to like, you know, the developing world, and I think that's what UKIP's really all about. I think they're like, well, it's really hard to outsource with this like European Union. We have to pay for European labor, and that means we have to pay for everyone's benefits and shit. You know, I would not be surprised if that's the real motivating factor.
No, you're pretty much spot on. I have an ex that lives in Liverpool, and that's
Far away.
that's more or less it.
Oh, that's their takeaway as well.
Yeah, that's more or less their takeaway.
Oh, gee. Yeah, you don't hear that one.
UKIP is just British sounding GOP.
Yeah, yeah, it absolutely is.
More or less.
You know, like I know that. Oh man, speaking of UKIP, that fucking Sargon of a. Oh my god. What? Oh, do you not know that guy? Awesome.
Apparently not.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. No more need be.
Oh great, we found something to talk about.
Oh god. Well, I'm just like
Enlighten the kitty.
enlighten you. Oh, I'm afraid that if I do that, it's like Videodrome. You'll get it. You know, it's like now all of a sudden you'll have Sargon of Akkad. You know, I'm not sure I should pass it on. You know, it's like the fucking Ring. You know, you learn about Sargon of Akkad, you look it up, and then 10 days later, like you join UKIP. You know, it's like the fucking Ring. What?
Is it like the hole that goes with? Is it like the downward spiral of what happens when you like Google search blue waffle?
No, it's okay. He's this YouTube guy. He's a YouTube. All right, you could let me know when to stop. He is a British YouTube skeptic.
Okay, safe word is red.
Okay, he's a British YouTube skeptic. Okay, and he was really big into. He's really big into trashing Anita Sarkeesian and Hillary Clinton, which, you know, a couple of years ago, that was a decent hiding place because there were a lot of people, you know, in the Democratic Party who were very frustrated with those things. And so it felt like, oh, hey, here's someone who might actually listen, unlike everyone else I'm talking to. But no, that turns out that was a trick. Turns out what he really is he's a fucking British white nationalist. Yeah, because people don't realize, North Americans don't realize that not all white racists have Southern accents. You know, like, they're like, no, sometimes they have British accents, and,
Nope, sometimes we think they sound intelligent.
Yeah, we do. It's like, oh, he knows so much, he's so smart, and like, you actually picked apart his videos, you're like, actually, this guy's got nothing of substance. He's got nothing. Like, he's the one, I got into a huge Twitter argument with him, over whether or not pharaohs in Africa were ever, pharaohs in Egypt were ever black. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? You know, the amount of stupid that you have to possess in order to think that black people were not that there were not black pharaohs is amazing. You know, like how do you even
like, they've had to have seen like Egyptian people's skin, right?
Well, no, because it's like, well, this is actually thousands of years ago, and I'm like, they weren't whiter thousands of years ago. Like, fucking Greek people weren't whiter thousands of years ago. You know, Romans weren't white 1,000 years ago. That never happened. You know, like, people didn't start becoming white until they like really started trudging into Western Europe, and that was way after the time of.
Literally, the sun's like, I'm just gonna stay away for a bit.
Yeah. You know, we gotta stay out of that sun, out of that fertile crescent. You know, like, I'm just sitting there like, this is the stupidest. And he's like, yeah, well, they found like DNA that only belongs to Europeans on the mummy. How do you explain that? And the thing is the article he shared, because he totally played himself. The article he shared actually linked to an article where this one dude said, well, the reason that happened is because these are the most touched mummies ever.
I'm out of range.
So finding European DNA in Tutankhamun's tomb means nothing. Because white people have been touching that thing for like 50 years.
Yeah, ooh, dead person touch.
Yeah, over 50 years, so unless you can all of a sudden.
The reason we think the Brits sound so smart is because they played the evil mastermind in all the movies.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, we think, like, British people are smart because of James Bond film.
Yeah. I saw someone say it was... What was it? Oh, linguistic profiling. I was like, yeah, that more or less
Yeah, pretty much. You know?
hits the head. Hits the nail on the head.
I've met some pretty stupid British people.
My brethren are as industrious as they are.
You know? Just saying.
I fear the incursion point needs another round of
You know, like meet some British people. You'll find a really stupid one about the same amount of time it takes to find a really stupid American. They're not actually brighter than we are. They're just dumb and different.
I'm out of rage.
Like you want to talk about holding on to a fictional culture. Oh my god. America's got nothing on the British. Holy fucking shit.
Is this where you're getting at, where it just becomes like a downward spiral as soon as you start off with this one YouTuber's name?
Yeah. It just eventually...
Speaking of this bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of this bullshit. Yeah, exactly. You know, so I'm kind of glad that there are people who don't know who the fuck he is. It's relevant.
I will say, like, most of the time I'm just under a rock, and whenever you mention, like, have you heard about what this person said? Like,
no, that's probably for the best.
Ignorance is bliss. Go ahead, explain it.
I feel like it's like my job to fucking deal with these people sometimes. You know,
take that burden on, and then you start going.
I just really love punching. You know, like my brother is like, yeah, in the Phoebe. You know, like my brother once said, like, it's not that you're a bad guy. You're like Daredevil. You're not a bad guy. You just like punching people. Like, yeah. I really, sometimes I just, especially when it's complete. You know, because I feel like bullshit goes unchallenged way too much.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like another great, like, oh man, another great, like, and it's, okay, here's the other thing. This is something that you know. You've been taught it. You know it intellectually. But you don't really understand the extent of it until you deal with it. That is how a majority of people can actually be, like, just flat out incorrect about things they witnessed.
Yeah.
You know, about things that they witnessed. You know, and my favorite example of that right now is The Last Jedi.
Oh boy.
Because I love that movie.
I liked it too, yeah.
Yeah, I really love The Last Jedi. I really dug it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, that's right, Yoda. That's right. That's right. Just fucking, you know, you see like Luke at his lowest moment and I'm like, it's okay, Luke.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I know you did right. You did okay. You know, because I'm sitting there and they're like, well, what's, you know, oh my god, I can't believe Luke would kill Kylo Ren. I'm like, people have been telling that guy to kill his family members for like decades. Like, you ever notice that? Like, oh, you gotta kill your father. Squeeze me? Like, what? You know, like, oh, yeah, that guy, Darth Vader, fucking kill him. You know, and you're like, whoa, Ben, like, fucking chill. You're supposed to be, like, one with the Force and, like, above all that shit, right? Yeah, no, apparently not. All right, Ghost Kenobi, you're just gonna be an asshole. You know, you tell me to kill my dad. I'm not gonna, by the way, and it turns out that's the right move.
Yeah.
You know, or did people not get that? You know, but here once again, like, Luke gotta kill a family member, and he doesn't do it, but it's too late. He's already fucked up. You know, he already looks like he's gonna do it. That's enough. And you're like, oh, shit. Fuck. Like, one of those, like, yeah, I could see it. See that. Like, he gets premonitions, and he's like, oh my god, I gotta do something. And you know, when it's a clear good versus evil, he gets it. But you know, killing a kid, even attacking a kid, like, ooh.
Well, was he a kid or was he like? I thought he was like.
He's like young. He's like he would be a kid.
Yeah.
Skywalker, like
Okay,
late
yeah.
teens, early 20s. You know, that's kid enough.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
And I sort of sat there and I'm like, at first I had that reaction of like, no, Luke could never do that. But then the movie went on. I'm like, actually, they're making a pretty good case. They're actually making a pretty good case for how that happened. You know,
think about it. Luke gets this premonition that basically this kid is gonna be the second coming of Vader, and Luke's like,
yeah. Well, more
that shit in
importantly,
the bud.
that he's gonna kill your best friend.
yeah, it's like I'm gonna nip that shit in the bud right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's gonna kill your best friend. He's gonna almost kill your sister.
But then you think about it from Kylo Ren's perspective. It's like you wake up, all of a sudden you're like, I gotta get a drink of water, Uncle.
Yeah, you're like, what's going on? You know, and it's like, yeah, that fucking
Like,
totally makes
yeah,
sense.
That would fuck you up as a kid.
Yeah.
My uncle told me in my sleep. How would
Yeah. Now,
I'm just saying this now. If Bernie Sanders does
somebody in the
not win
background
the
that's
next
very
election, American is
right
a country is screwed. Also, I tend to agree with your opinions on The Last Jedi.
yeah, yeah, because, I mean, all right, so here was my thing about when people were like, why did Luke Skywalker do that? And I'm like, the movie actually told you. And it didn't just give you the,
smack you with it.
yeah, they smacked you with it, like they told you with it, but they also gave you the more subtle reason.
Let me teach you something, you stupid fuck.
Yeah. He was the more subtle reason, which is, what is it that Yoda says about Luke?
What did he?
But even when he first meets him, always looking to the horizon, never his mind on where he was, what he was doing, adventure, excitement. Did I crave not these things? You know, like
Yoda rendition of if he went through puberty.
yeah. You know, Yoda's just like, yeah, fuck it. You know, it's all okay. Don't worry about it, Luke. Cool. Oh, and a bunch of people were like, what was Yoda so silly? And I'm like, you remember Empire?
Yeah.
He's fucking with Luke constantly.
I think
you
people
know?
are still thinking of prequels Yoda.
Oh, yeah,
when he
suck a
wasn't
Yoda?
as silly. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking suck a Yoda. Like,
The actual original, the first Yoda was a silly, stupid puppet.
yeah.
Like,
You know, he's walking around, he's just, you know, little guy's like, mine, or I would help you not. And I don't know why I can just get that. Yeah. What and I don't know why I can just get that. I sometimes think it's because I grew up watching kung fu movies.
oh.
And they did that.
Yeah.
Kung Fu masters do that all the time. Like, there's always, like, you know, you always got, like, the Pai Mei or the fucking, you know, Grand Lotus Master who doesn't want to take on an apprentice. He's done. Like, fuck the world. I ain't gonna teach nobody. I'm just gonna sit here, do my kung fu, eat my fish, kiss my ass. But then the young guy comes up and it's like, oh man, teach me the ways, master. I'm just gonna be so dedicated, be best martial artist ever. And he's like, oh god, another one. Like another one of these. Okay.
Time to beat you down to the dirt.
Yeah. And he starts laughing at him and beating the shit out of him. Just be like, okay, snatch this rock from my hand. I mean, you know, like that kind of shit. I mean, I know that was from Kung Fu. That's not technically a fucking... But, you know, they were onto something. That's the kind of shit that happens in Kung Fu. And so, Yoda does that, and that's actually what I associate with Yoda. Like, oh, okay, great. He's the old Kung Fu. You know, he's here to fuck. He's here to fuck with you. Because, why not? If the student can predict everything the teacher is going to do, especially in something like martial arts, not much of a teacher.
Yeah.
You know, so that happens, and I actually really loved it. I loved the whole, like, like, oh, those books possess nothing that Rey does not already possess. Little does Luke know what Yoda's actually saying, and she actually has the books already, you idiot.
Yeah.
But that's not what's
Don't worry, she
important
saved
to Luke. What's important for Luke is that he let go. That'd be like, no, you don't have to do things the Jedi way. What are you talking about? You do things the Luke Skywalker way. You know, like, fuck, I didn't train you to be a Jedi, I trained you to be Luke Skywalker. You know, what the fuck is this?
Yoda basically came and said, just because you're older doesn't mean you're not still Luke.
Yeah, it doesn't mean, just because you're the master doesn't mean I'm not your master. Hey, who's king shit of fuck mountain? Yeah, that's right. You know?
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, really? Oh, man. That's one of my favorites. King shit of fuck mountain. But yeah, like, that's absolutely how that kind of thing goes in that I. And so when they did it when they went back to that in Last Jedi, I was like, oh man, no, Yoda's fixed. The fix is in. Everything's good now. You know, now I can, this is the movie I've been waiting for, because I'll be honest, when they did the midichlorian things, even though I could kind of justify it to myself a little bit, what broke my heart about that was now all of a sudden it was something you could inherit.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, really? Like,
they put a reason to the magic suddenly.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it can't be hereditary. Like, that defeats that defeats what that means.
Yeah.
You know, in those fucking prequels, I was like, I'm not, like, I feel like a lot of people were mad at midichlorians. I was mad at midichlorians because I thought it ruined, you know, the beautiful tale of like, oh man, this just come from anywhere. You don't know. You don't know who's gonna be strong with the Force. It just happens. You know, because that's my understanding of it. And then midichlorians. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, because that was the first, you know, concept of it. And then they were like, maybe we should retcon this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should give magic reason. No, you don't. No, you don't give magic reason.
Yeah. Like,
for a reason. Ha.
Yeah. The only reason you explain something that's magical is because that reason has plot relevance. In fact, that's in many ways how magic is supposed to narratively be. You know, it's not supposed to be a get out of jail free card. You know, it's supposed to be like, all right, let's set up this rule, and now 2/3 of the way through, we're gonna fuck with it. You know. Yeah, it's like in fucking like in Doctor Strange, right? You know, like, what's this? Oh, that artifact is too powerful. You will never wield it. You're like, oh, you know what the end of the movie is.
Yeah, it's like, really now?
Really now? Oh, okay. So that's gonna be the.
Shouldn't wield this.
Yeah. It's like, all right. One thing I know, that thing has to do with the end of the plot.
Mother, may I?
Yeah. Well, it's like Superman. You know, like fucking Jor-El shows up and it's like, "Oh, son, you cannot." He doesn't talk like that in that movie.
I was about to say.
Oh, you cannot do it, son. Yeah. Well, it was the same dude, same actor.
Oh shit.
Huh. That's why people do that. You know, because it was, and like, he doesn't do that in Superman, but because it's, you know, it's fucking him. Oh God, Marlon Brando. Because it's Marlon Brando, everyone just puts the two together. You know,
Yeah.
but it's like, look, come on, to the clock, you get Kal-El, you come out in the field. Natural causal events is forbidden. Now it's forbidden. Can't
And then
do
Luke was
it.
like, what? Pardon?
Yeah.
Sir, take the cannoli out of your mouth, please.
Yeah. Like, stop it. Shut up, Dad. And like fucking. That's why at the end of the movie, like Lois Lane's dead. Superman's fucking crying. He's trying to make the Earth spin backwards. He's trying to reverse time and all that shit. It's why before he does that, he sees like no, forbidden. And then there's fucking like Dad from, Pa Kent, Dad from fucking Christmas Story, going like, son, you're old for a reason.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit! Now Superman's got to learn that he can't defy death, so he can learn how to defy. And I love shit like that.
We're getting ourselves into a circle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it is kind of the problem with the Superman movies as a series, which is after that first one, what do you do? Like, Superman already rewrote time to save Lois Lane. It doesn't get better than that. It really don't get better than that unless you're like, I don't know, unless you're like Mark Waid, I guess. Because Mark Waid wrote fucking Kingdom Come. That's an amazing. You read it?
No, I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to.
Oh, Kingdom Come's amazing. Like that's another like
That the Legion must not possess.
that's another movie that people who don't like The Last Jedi would hate. They made it. Fucking hate that movie. So much of it.
Heavy boobs, dance like dying stars. I got them heavy boobs. I can't run real far.
In my opinion on why people hate The Last Jedi is because fanboys, no matter what the
Commodore just said,
fandom, whether it be Star Wars, Star Trek, etc.,
the Star Wars,
is because fanboys see things in their head in a certain way and they can't get past it.
Logic, basically.
Yeah, it is.
Such hate behind it.
Yeah, because everyone was like, "What about Snoke? Build him up to be so important." And I'm like,
well,
"What?" Like Snoke was so important. I'm like,
no.
Oh, like they made it pretty clear that he's just some asshole. Like we only see him once in The Force Awakens. Yeah, and he's just like a floating fucking head, and it makes you think that he's like fucking giant. But then when we see him, he's just like a normal-sized guy who's got half a fucking face, who's just sitting on a throne like a dickweed. And I'm like
a dried out vampire.
Yeah, like a dried out husk, like a dried out vampire, like fucking, like Gary Oldman's vampire in the beginning of fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula has more moisture than that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, he's just an alien. He's just a guy. Yeah, he's just some asshole.
Dude.
Yeah, he's
to be super force sensitive.
Yeah, he's like, because like everyone's like, oh, he's supposed to be like the Emperor. I'm like, no, that's the fucking point. He isn't. He isn't.
Yeah, no, isn't there a fan theory that Stokes was being controlled by something even more powerful than him anyway?
Yeah, that'd be.
Or was answering, not being controlled, but was answering to something else?
Yeah, maybe, but that'd be kind of.
I think in the books it said that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, I have no idea. Like, if it's not in a movie, I don't know. Like, I always hate. Here's the funny thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So it was Palpatine looking, and it's hinted that he was looking for something in the dark side that was all powerful, all being, and that it's hinted that it was Snoke's. So basically, Palpatine went looking for something, and something said, "Hi,
Oh, and people were like, "Oh, that must be Snoke."
Oh, it's got to be Snoke's or something. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, might be. Who knows?
Yeah, my big thing basically. God. I. Ugh. Invasion point. Whoops. Invasion point. Egg. I think it's Egg Tall. Egg Tall. Also, sorry, the last super chat was so long.
Sorry that the last super chat was so long. And do you mind if I come on stream?
Actually, I think I'm gonna. I think let me owe you this. Let me owe you one. Right now, I kind of just want to take it kind of slow. No, I just want. Yeah, I'm not ready to go back like full on, you know. But we will. But I owe it to you. Okay. Point. Egg Tall.
Jack's
Egg
gotta
Tall.
prepare himself first. You know, it's a process for men.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. It really is. Like I don't know. Sometimes I don't know how. I don't know how women do it.
I mean, it's also preparation. We're talking about the same thing, right?
Oh, we talking about erections, or we talk? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, tickle the balls a little bit.
Alright, this is just me, but any man that I've been with, if I went anywhere near the ball part, they would like recoil away in horror, like, no, that's okay, you don't have
to. Yeah. The testicles, like guys are like their balls being played with. Those are genital thrill seekers.
Yeah.
You know, that's the fucking
specific subset.
Yeah, that's a fucking. That is the equivalent of like genital skydiving. You know, like it's just like, ooh, you know, may feel great, but like it, you know,
Just once.
Yeah. It's just very particular thrill.
Genital skydiving. I'm just thinking skydiving, literally just like going crotch first.
Oh my god, did you know that
He's gonna hit the land first.
man, speaking of crotch first, speaking of crotch first, there actually is like legit like crouching.
I'm fine with that count.
Cool, thanks man, thanks for understanding. There actually is like crouching tiger, hidden dragon like porn. And it's not like, yeah, like, and not just like porn stars and outfits. I mean, like kung fu wire fucking. Amazing.
Finish this fight.
Amazing.
But like, isn't gravity working against you? Like, all right, here we go. Whee!
Yeah. Well, no. Well, not when you're a stunt person.
Okay, yeah.
Who could fucking just like, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, I can't believe this is a thing that's happening in a movie. I'm watching this. These two people are having sex, wire fu style. This is. Why didn't this win an Oscar? I don't know why these things don't win Oscars. They really should.
Yeah, you think about it, because like I feel like my body would just be like, all right, I'm stiff. I don't know what to do. You do the thing.
Get closer.
Yeah,
like,
if you were
know which way to move.
If you were flying through the trees, you know, having to make sure.
Terrible vertigo doing that.
Oh man, this is the kind of stuff you used to find on like You're the Man Now, Dog. You know, like that's something I feel a little bit bad about. Like, I think everyone started to assume that there was just that there was enough fucked up shit that they had seen, and I'm like, I don't know why. You know, there's so much out there you don't even know.
Apparently not.
Yeah, if all you know from fucked up shit is like you're the man now, dog, or something awful, you don't know shit. You don't know shit.
The Legion is reeling from
Oh
your
my
onslaught.
god.
Cut them
Teach me
down.
your fucked up ways, Sensei.
Oh my god. Dude.
Do we
Oh.
have 8 hours? I don't think we have 8 hours. To do that.
Pterodactyl porn?
What?
That's another one of my favorite go-tos. Pterodactyl porn. There's a porn movie out there all about a woman being raped by guys in pterodactyl costume. And when I say raped, I mean like quote unquote raped. You know, like not a rape movie. It's just sort of like, oh, I've tripped. Oh, you're on top of me. Oh, I can't resist. Yeah, it's that shit.
Oh, I've tripped onto your dick.
Dick. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, so it's like, oh, okay, that's totally anything. But yeah, guys in pterodactyl
cool. I'm
outfit.
not the only one. There's a couple people in chat like, I'm sorry, Tara, what now?
Yeah, pterodactyl porn. Yeah, pterodactyl porn. Check it out. Like, look for it. It even has like she even lays an egg. Like I'm sure it's like fucking like hypoallergenic slime, and she put it up there and then like laid it. But you know, and it's probably made of rubber.
How big an egg we talking? First of all, are we
Like-
talking ostrich?
like-
Or are we talking duck?
Not like like they put it like about the size of a fist. Oh, you know,
No thanks.
it's an acquired
Stay away from
taste.
that, thank you.
Uh,
I don't want it there. I don't want it at the other exit. No, thank you.
like actually, that's always been the thing about fisting that always freaked me out. Is first of all, the act in and of itself does kind of make you go, okay, like it sounds weird, but then you're like, well, there's porn of this, and I'm curious, and that's when you realize you're in way over your head. You're in over your head because you're thinking it's gonna be like, no, wham, 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 wham. The idea is that you've got to be trying to break the other person's pelvis. That's the idea.
Let's not use the word break, please.
Ooh. Yeah, okay, you're punching the other person's
I don't want nothing
pelvis.
breaking. I don't want to have to make that ER trip and that explanation.
Hey.
Doctor, I think I'm broken. Where?
On the inside.
On the...
Sure, you need to be
Where?
seeing a
I
physician.
can tell you where I'm not broken. That might help.
Oh, you know, to establish a baseline.
That might help narrow it down at this point.
Ornaments from one of our past assaults litter the ridge
It's
on
still
the
tender.
eastern
I don't
side
want to
of
say the
hole.
name.
Ooh.
Recovery will
Yeah,
be
right.
war
You know, like that's the thing. Like, unless it's like your thing, it is not your thing. Like, not even a little bit. You're either really into fisting, or absolutely not. There's no one who's like,
No need for
no one is like halvesies on.
It's too far.
Yeah, no. There is no kind of fisting.
Yeah,
To quote Robert Williams, you either go all the way or fucking forget it.
forget it. Yeah. Oh my god. Actually, another one that I witnessed, and it was one of the. This one came to me. Well, you might say that I went to it because it was Folsom Street Fair.
I was about to say, is came to me the right phrase you want to be using?
Yeah, it might not be the right word. That might be.
Okay,
Yeah.
Maybe I'll wait for more of the story. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. So, I had heard of this, but I had never witnessed it. Now, granted, this was like back in like late 90s. All right.
unnecessary end.
So, walking around Folsom Street Fair, and first thing you gotta know about, you do not understand how quickly you get used to it. You just do. Just do. If there are, that's how nudist colonies function.
Oh, it's a nudist colony. Okay,
No, it's not. It's not. It's not a nudist colony. But nudist colonies work because after everyone's naked for about a day, you just stop noticing.
Yeah.
Like, you just stop noticing. And
I've been to enough parties where it's like, yeah, you just...
Yeah, you just sort of like, I mean, you still have the appropriate reaction if you're like, ooh. But...
Yeah, it comes on your radar, but then you just keep going.
Yeah, it's not like, you stop laughing about it. It's not even weird after a bit.
Stop having giggle fits after seeing every single titty.
yeah, or cock. Like, and I was not only, like, in queer and fetish community, I was also an artist. I went to art school. Looking at naked people was the thing I did every day.
Yeah.
You know, in detail. Like, in detail, like, you're going in there and you're really looking. You know? So, walking around, you're like, all right, guys in leather, guys without pants, guys without nothing, guy complete. And then all of a sudden, I realize, wait, something seems off. Like, something seemed unusual about this one nude guy. And so I look again. He's in a leather outfit. He's got a leather outfit, but I mean, he's like, you know, balls out. And leaning next to, like, doorway, you know, like, check me out. That's not it. But he's holding a saline bag.
Oh.
Like an IV drip. Whatever.
I think I know where this is
And it's going into his testicle. It's going into his scrotum. And his scrotum has been ballooned up to, like, that big.
That's not healthy.
Filled with saline solution. And he's surrounded by other guys who are like, clearly this is their thing, right? And I'm sitting there going, what?
Your brain got
Yeah, just melted. It's like, I have a million questions, but where do I begin?
I have a million questions, but that begins with me voicing them.
Yeah, just like, I don't know if, like, you know what?
I don't know if I want to
Fuck
break this group up right now.
Yeah. That might get dangerous. I don't know if I'm wearing, you know, I don't know if I want to be dodging, like, fucking. I don't know if I need to be doing that.
Pretty sure I need a hard hat and a face cover first.
Yeah. You know,
neither of them.
like maybe if I had like a fetish gas mask or something, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have gotten in my mouth or anything. Not saying I would have sucked it, just saying things happen. You know, testy juice. It happens. It comes flying at you. It comes flying at you. You do not want to be sitting there with your mouth open. You need to make sure that is exactly where you want to be. Well, yeah, because you're just like, you know, you don't want to be staring, then all of a sudden, you know, like, no, you don't want that. You don't want that.
Buy me dinner first, dude.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyway, so that's going on. And I go back on the internet and I look it up, and it turns out this is a thing that some people do. It's a fetish. And I'm like, and there are women who do it, but with their tits.
Yeah. That's one hell of a fetish to find out that you're a part of, though.
I'm like,
so specific.
How? Yeah. So specific. Like, that one's got to be real early. That's got to be
How did
like
that come- yeah, how did
childhood
that come about?
inception. Yeah, that's got to be like
And,
childhood
like-
inception.
So, like, where was... Now I have questions. I don't know if I want them answered.
Well, I'm definitely not the one to answer that one.
Yeah, like, where's the tube going? And, like, never mind.
Well, that I can
How
actually
much is too
answer.
much? Another thing.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, if you do it right, you're not doing any damage. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
that's
margin of...
always the caveat.
Yeah, I don't know what the margin of error is.
It's too far
But
away.
there is a safe way to do it, apparently. Yeah. Yeah.
There is a safe way
There
to
is
do
a
it.
safe way to do it.
Hopefully, he found that way.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing.
The mightiest world in all of the Great Dark.
Being an inquisitive sort, I was looking up this information online, and I was assuming, it must not hurt that much. But apparently that's wrong. Apparently that's wrong. Apparently it is quite the sensation.
What
Are you looking
yeah,
it
it's gotta
up?
Be a sensation, but I'm not looking it up.
Oh, okay. That's like
I don't need that before I go to bed.
I was like,
I do
it's like
not
you
need
got
that
got
dream.
quiet. Are you looking it up? Are you
I do not
discovering?
need that dream in my mind before I go to bed. Part of it's gonna be in my mind, but I don't need to know the exact.
Some guy in
specifics.
like fucking with some leather guy with huge testicles around you in your dream.
It's
These-
gonna be the opposite of Baywatch.
Yeah. It's gonna be the opposite of Baywatch, and fucking, then it's gonna turn out that if you like, shave his scrotum, he'll give you a wish. Oh man. By the way, how speaking of lewd things, how was that party?
Oh, it turned out really good. I got someone's number simply by being a brat. That was interesting.
Oh. The number you're gonna call, or?
I've already texted with them, and things just kind of stopped after a while. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't bad, just,
Yeah.
guy's
Well,
got a guy's got a kid, has his own family, so, I'm sure things are getting busy.
at
Things are constantly busy by me, too, anyway, so
yeah.
flying tends to be hard.
Yeah. Do you have a kid?
Huh?
You have a kid?
I do, actually.
Ah.
That's a difficult
We will
subject to talk
not
about, though.
fall.
Oh. Okay.
The
Got it.
Legion will pay.
Yeah, sorry if suddenly I got somber with that.
Oh, okay. I can take a few guesses, and I'd probably be.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, outsider.
Anyway. All right, let's change the subject. What else? What else we got? Oh yeah. All right. So what's the weirdest fetish that you? Not even that you had, just like you learned about it and you were like, what?
Weird.
The deep
I gotta think
dares
now.
lead a vanguard on the Vindicar. Its death will send a powerful message to the enemy.
I guess starting off pegging, that always seemed a weird one to me.
Really?
And yeah, not weird in a bad way either. It was weird in a sense that almost every guy I've seen being interested in pegging has always been straight. And has always said that they won't do pegging with anything other than just a toy. And that always was weird to me. It's like, but you're inserting something. When I was younger and I found this out, I was inserting something and I was like, so you're gay? And they were like, no, I'm straight. It's like, but it's how not what?
Yeah. Like.
And then you find out it's like it deals more with like the prostate and getting off in that direction than anything else. And I was like, okay, but so you're not. It would always go back to like, so you're not gay. It's like, no, I'm straight. But you like that in you, yes. So you're not gay, yes. That was always something even kind of to this day, I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around it.
Well, yeah, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me. That, in my opinion, like, oh, come on, it's a little gay.
Yeah, like it's got to be a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. Well, are we gay? Well, everyone's a little gay.
Yeah, everyone's a little gay. Weirdest fetish. Oh, vor. Yeah, I don't get that either. I don't.
Pray to Satan, pray to Satan.
Weirdest fetish. Vor. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Scapplay. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, vor was weird because it was one of those things where I was like this is kind of how I discovered it. I was looking up things that were a little bit more relevant to my own interest. Mm-hmm. And I stumbled upon it because it was like one of those early internet porn stories that is like multiple things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't even think it was called vor at that point, but that's what it was.
Yeah, it had a name.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but like it was a thing that could happen for that name. So I was like, so I started looking. I can't even remember what, but I started looking up things with that search term because I was like, oh, okay, well maybe this is something I'm really into. And the more I got into it, the more I was like, no. I was way more into the idea of a woman coming as she's...
It's too far away.
Like that one scene in The Matrix Reloaded, that did something.
So do you have like an oral fixation or anything like that? Or no?
I don't know. I definitely have a breast fixation.
I know that.
Yeah, like that's the only thing I can say with it.
That's the one thing that we have in common, I think.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, gotta ask. The smaller or the larger?
Larger.
Yeah, me too. Obviously, me too. That's
I knew I still say like the instant that I knew that I was bisexual was because of my friend Cassie. She is still incredibly well endowed. And when I switched high schools and I became friends with her, I was like, no, I don't have to wonder anymore. Yeah, no.
Oh.
I once knew a guy that had a fetish for shoplifting.
Wait,
what was that?
Fetish for shop? Okay, before we go on to shoplifting fetish, to which I say, wait, like, guy gets off literally by swiping stuff.
Never heard that.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what you mean by fetish for shoplifting. Feel free to feel free to go into more detail because I'm curious.
Yeah, there's a story there.
Yeah. But what I was gonna ask was, did you realize it wasn't a question because you actually did something about it, or you were just like constantly like, oh, I'm tired?
No, yeah. I had zero subtlety in high school. So if there was ever a moment where I was with Cassie, there was looking. Zero doubt about it. And my friends are just like, dude. I'm like,
Have you seen that? This is one of my favorite gifs.
she
Like,
didn't even call me out on it. She's like, Linz. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Liz, they're mine. It's like they actually belong to me. No, they don't. Yeah. Can't it be a community chest kind of thing?
Yeah, then it's like, Lindsay. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh man. Yeah, I have
Lindsay, stop it.
Turn the cannon on Kill
Yeah.
Jaden's ship.
I tend to whoa, what am I doing? Oh. Blowing something up. I mean, okay, I'm good with that. Face the cannon towards Kill Jaden's ship and fire a fucking boom. Great. Fire the Fell Devastate. What am I doing now?
I'm not seeing the story of the shoplifting fetish. Like that one.
That's too bad, because I'm real super fucking curious about that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm out, bye.
Yeah, I'm out at 5,000. It's like, no. Yeah, I think you gotta deliver a bit more on that, because like.
Shooting. With that cursed ship
He would
out
steal
of
from
commission,
Walmart and then
we can
get off
focus
to
on
it
other
later. That's it.
fronts.
That's
Okay, well, I guess, you know, like that's.
He would steal from Walmart and then get off to it later.
Not to kink shame, but no, I'm gonna kink shame that one. That one's sad.
Yeah, that's like, I can only get off if I fucking wear a Donald Duck outfit. You're like, oh. No. Actually, my favorite, oh my god, my favorite, like, terrible date came from my friend Sarah, who, you know, another well-endowed young woman, young lady.
No, don't kink shame the friend. Just because I said it doesn't mean you have to.
Oh, like, there was. Here's the thing.
Be the asshole in this point.
I have never. Here's the thing about like, RPG, pen and paper RPG.
Mm-hmm.
There's the stereotype of the girlfriend who plays the healer. That's never the gal who sticks around.
Yeah.
No, it's always the girl who like the first character they roll is an orc barbarian. Like that gal's a lifer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's just gonna be like, yeah, orc barbarian, let's do this. You know, that was my wife, that was Sarah, that was my friend Aaron. You know, it was one of those things where it was like, barbarian, wait, I can just hit things with a fucking warhammer? That sounds great. I'm just gonna do that. Just do that all the time. Wait, I can rage and do more damage? Like, yeah, the armor class is lowered. I don't care about that. It's more killing. It's like, hey, right, we figured out the people that we hang around.
Yeah.
I need to target something first.
You know, and she fucking had worst date hookup story I have ever heard.
Ooh, these are always good.
Oh my god. No, this was one of those like,
I feel sad for them, but these are always good.
Oh, I've told this story on stream like a couple times before. Like I'm never sure who's heard it. All right.
Yeah, I always catch your streams at like weird middle points. So.
Yeah. So here's how this goes down. She's in this guy. She's like, yeah, he's like a kind of a, you know, he's kind of like, you know, normal guy, kind of macho douche, you know, but you know, whatever. I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, all right. And she gets to the point. She gets his trousers down, and she's like, and all of a sudden, I'm confronted with the smallest dick I've ever seen. Like, it's tiny. And I'm sitting there going, yeah. She's like, ugh.
Oh.
I'm like,
oh, honey, no.
You're kidding. And she's like, no, I'm not kidding. But now, like, I'm not even mad. And she's like, I'm not even mad. I'm just going like, okay, now how do I work with this? You know, because she's like, I'm dead set. I am gonna get laid one way or the other tonight. now I gotta solve this equation first because
Oh god.
this is,
I've
you know.
had one of these before. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, but here's the thing. It gets better.
This is when you become the best actress in the world.
Yeah. Oh, but it gets better. So she's pausing and she's doing that, like, you know, equations are like forming like all around her face and shit.
Yeah.
The guy starts crying. So of course she feels really bad. So he starts crying and she's sort of like, no, it's okay. It's like this fucking, like this huge titted Amazon woman is like, you know, like,
It's okay.
it's okay. They're there. You know. You know, it's.
Oh no.
Yeah, as she said.
I'm laughing because I've been there. Not the crying part.
So it gets better.
How I solve quantum mechanics, like.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It gets better. Because in the middle of his, like, crying fit, he talks about how the neighbor's dog raped him.
What?
Yeah. Like, he got raped by the neighbor's dog. And she was like, now, here's the thing. I don't know if he was telling me that the dog raped him or he was admitting that he raped the dog. Either is. How do you ask for clarification on that? You know, by that point, you just want out. You just want to go. Because it's not, it's like, here's the thing. It's a countdown to you, like, you know, laughing. Because what else is going to happen? And she's like, so you just have to get out of there really fucking quick before you start fucking laughing at this.
Yeah.
Because you're like, he's crying. He's in real pain. And it's hilarious.
Suddenly the micro dick don't matter.
Yeah. Suddenly you're like, oh, we're past that. And every guy brags about his dick. Great, it's really. I know that was the case with me. And occasionally you, especially if you're bisexual guy, you eventually run into a guy where you're like, yeah, no, I can't top that. Can't top that. That's just nature just gave you that. That's just what you have. But I would rather. But I would definitely say this. I would rather have an average-sized cock with above-average Yelp ratings, you know, than to have a huge cock that can't get the job done.
Yeah.
Because I ex-girlfriend of mine said, like, yeah, when you left, I kind of slept. Not mad. I'm like, first of all, that was 15 years. Second of all, how was it? I gotta know. Because that's where the real ego trip is.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, yeah, was I better? Yeah, was I better? You know, like, you know, because I'm sitting there going in my head and I'm like, oh. But there were a lot of, like, there was a lot of starting and I can't remember how many. I'm doing all this calculation in my fucking head, right?
Do tally marks.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, it's why like notches on the bedpost start. Why didn't I do that total douchebag thing for this?
Yeah.
And
put a tally mark in my black book.
yeah. This was the winky faces when he came down on me. You know, sorry, I love Mullen. But
the hard is when I actually come.
Yeah. You know, but one of them, the thing, bleh, this was the bit that just, you know, like, satisfaction is because this was a friend who would fuck me up. Okay, we were friends. He fucked me up. So my ex is like, yeah, I slept with him. Like, so how was it? And she's like, well, it's as big as he said. It's really impressive. Doesn't get the job done though.
It's too far away.
Like, really? She's
Meanwhile,
like,
you're like, yes.
oh, right. Like, what do you mean doesn't get the job done? Like, I'm there and I'm like, edit is, and I'm like, not to get too gross about it, but I was like, you, you.
Specifics.
Little miss, fucking little miss. I know when it's in all the way because that's the first moment I come. You know, little miss multi-orgasm. Like, it's like, couldn't get the job done. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Well, of course, eternally, I'm like, right, who's the master? You know? Who is the master?
Two working DCs.
You had 2 working dicks? Oh, okay. I thought you said 2 working, because of the way the said it. I thought you said 2 working feces. Like, his life? No, like, yeah, no. So that the horrible story of Micro Dick, like, that's the worst date story I've ever heard. And it's so odd because, like, you think you know what's small, and then you realize no one knows, like, no one, you know, they've seen it all, right? Like, you ever seen the comic Ogloff?
That sounds familiar.
Okay, so there's a webcomic called Ogloff. It's basically a fantasy world where but it's nothing but, like, sex joke. You know,
Okay, I've definitely had to hear of this. With
yeah. OGLAF. I'm sure it stands for something. I don't know what it is. But it's got such jokes as, you know, the barbarian king will not let us cross unless he fucks you in the ass. So the king just bends over and fucking, like, shows his ass, and the barbarian king starts fucking him. The king is screaming, I am a river to my people! You know, it's fucking hilarious. And I was talking about it with somebody.
I've seen this comic before.
You have?
The art style. I've seen the art style, yeah.
Okay. I really like that webcomic. And one of the things I really liked about it was you can tell, how to put it, you can tell it has a woman. Because my opinion has always been, oh, if you want like really great sexual humor, that kind of humor women sell at, because they've seen it all. You know, they've seen it all. Like, it's all happened. Guys making sex jokes, it's not as fucking good. You know, we can get by, but I don't think we're as good at it. Yeah, we're better at gross humor, but not as good at the sex joke.
I need to get closer.
Sex can be gross.
Well, sex can be gross. Those tend to be the. For the most part, my feeling is if you want really good sex jokes, a woman gotta be involved. Like in the creation and writing process.
Another fetish
I have no clue about. Formicophilia. There is nothing sexy about that
Ophelia?
at all.
Formicophilia?
I think.
Yeah, what the fuck is?
Don't look at me. I already kink shamed for the night. Your turn.
paraphilia, sexual called upon or such as ants.
Nope. Mm-mm. All the nope. Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
Nope. Okay. My spine is actively trying to crawl out of my skin.
Oh my god.
Nope, nope, nope. Mm-mm.
God, that sounds horrible. Sounds...
See what I mean? Yeah, we do. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we sees it. Sees it. Oh, man.
My dream catcher is going to be working overtime tonight. Thank you.
Redmobile. Oh, wait, is... Wait, are we having audio issues, or...
I'm not sure. I'm hearing you. That's the first I'm seeing of audio issues.
Hold on. Huh.
Every time you say something lewd, it cuts out.
Really?
Someone else said, yeah, you've been cutting in and out all night.
Cutting in it. Oh, hold on. Okay, how about that? Well, here's the thing, like, I can't even hear the... We're gonna get some audio doubling in a moment if we're lucky. So hang on a minute. Might get a little weird. We're gonna get some audio doubling in a moment if we're... Oh, okay. Alright, we're good. Back.
Yay!
Woo! Oh.
Yeah, we didn't know about it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We had no idea that was going on. An alert doesn't come up and tell us.
Yeah.
Oh, like, maybe I don't know.
You would think at this point there'd be like a little beep or something that we would hear on our end.
Yeah, it's one of those, like,
something.
yeah, if it's going to be a thing that YouTube detects, maybe they should just tell us.
God, I've had a 2-hour stream where for the first hour of it, there was 0 audio.
Oh, no.
And I didn't know until a friend of mine finally joined the stream, because my streams aren't all that big. He's like, Linz, I can't hear you. I'm like, motherfucker, I just did, like, soul-crushingly important, like, plot-related quest, and no one heard it.
Oh, no. Well, that's...
First hour, I was like, fuck it, we're gonna farm.
Just
Not doing
farming
anything
shit.
else. We're just farming for fucking standing, that's it.
Oh my god. Oh, this is where I die, huh?
Can't attack that target.
And I was like, oh, this is hell. This is how I die. Alright, good.
Nope. Oh, this... Oh. And speaking of This Is How I Die, I'm kind of amazed that they're going to be Elder Scrolls together again.
Yeah, they're not expanding with the online, right? They're doing more with
No, they're
Morrowind or something like
yeah,
that?
yeah, they're doing essentially...
Oh, okay.
It's like Skyrim was...
Right. Alvin, you're getting a sequel.
Yep. Getting us...
Yeah.
That'll be really cool. And looking forward to that Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The gameplay footage I've been seeing, that has been
Yeah.
really interesting.
I was talking about my brother about that, and I'm like, "What do you think of that Cyberpunk?" And he's like, "Oh my god, it looks so good! I'm so angry."
Why is he angry?
Because he works at Bethesda.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he works at Bethesda. You know, he's pretty involved in all the projects that are happening right now. He's told nothing.
Yeah, well, probably can't.
No. He told. But we talk about game industry and game stuff in general all the time, and so Cyberpunk happened, and like one of us had to call up the other, like, "Oh my god!" And he was like, "Yeah, I know. God damn it, this bastards!" It's like if they actually pull this off, like we're gonna have actual competition ever.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually true. You know, like you guys have pretty much been the reigning champion of RPG. It's Fallout 3.
More or less, yeah. I was about to say it was like probably the early. Well, yeah, no, Fallout 3.
Yeah, about Fallout 3, and I was like, so what are you gonna? So what you gonna do? And well, obviously, of course, like all eyes are on Project Red right now because they pull Cyberpunk off. The game, basically, everyone has to step up their game.
Yeah.
So especially us because, obvious. Right?
Yeah, because Bethesda is always in the eye of everybody.
Yeah.
I actually met someone who worked at Bethesda at a fetish party. I think about it.
The attack.
What area of town do you live in?
I live in Connecticut, but this was actually at MagFest. I shouldn't have said that.
Wait, it was at a MagFest? When?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I bet it was Jay.
2-3 years ago.
Oh my god, I bet it was Jay.
Not saying nothing.
Oh.
He was supposed to give me, like, beta access and stuff like that, and he never did.
God. Ah! It is Uchi, ouchie.
Use the lube.
I know, I'm trying to just get killed. Death. Destruction. Come on, fucking quick. Ah.
Tell us more about this, Jay. I met him once. So.
Yeah, you never, like, dated him?
Nah, he was just at one of the parties in MagFest. And actually, we played a bunch of games together. We played Bananagram and a couple other games and stuff like that on the game floor. And yeah, we got to talking, and turns out he worked for Bethesda, and I was, more than happy to talk his ear off all night. And he got my email and everything like that, but he never, helped give me, like, beta testing access or anything like that, so, oh well.
I could tell stories.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's probably some reasons for that. None of them had to do with you.
Oh.
Yeah, he was having trouble with, like, dating him.
Oh.
It's the one I'm thinking. Yeah, but that's
we're
like
possibly talking about the same J. I mean, the guy.
Yeah, that's
his name began with a J.
Yeah, that's
so...
assuming it's a
Pray to Satan, pray to Satan, pray to Satan.
But the fact that you just like popped out, I was like, "Oh, is this Jay?" I'm like,
maybe. Yeah.
For all I know, that was an assumed name you went by,
Yeah, exactly.
Someone said cutting in and out again.
Cutting in and out again. All right, like that means what's going on is that the filter is fucking up. So let's just turn those off. You're about to get a bit more noise because.
Boom shakalaka.
Shakalaka, yeah. All right, how we? Oh.
Ooh, that was an interesting noise.
Oh, on. Okay. How about now? You should be hearing everything, and unfortunately, a bit more.
Someone asked, "What type of fetish party was that?" Literally just a kink meetup at MagFest. Like, you could do whatever the hell you wanted at that party. You know, so long as it was consensual.
Yeah, that's the big rule. Consensual is.
Someone else asked who's she? Who, me?
Yeah, this is Lala. She's a Twitter friend.
Hi.
She explained gender fluid to me in a way that actually made sense.
Yay!
For which I am eternally grateful. Because I thought I was losing my mind.
Someone said you're good, so I guess it's...
All right. Hopefully this will work.
Tell us more about this, Jay. Again, like, met him once, that was it. Met him once, he said he worked at Bethesda, said he would get me some beta access codes.
Get some beta access, baby.
Bethesda. This was when I was really trying to network my YouTube and my Twitch channels and stuff like that, so I think he did it honestly out of the kindness of his part, but then I guess because I kind of fell to the wayside, he didn't try to do anything else with it.
Yeah.
Both of our faults in the long end.
Well, you know, like, how to put it? There might have also might have been a lot of the guy pep talk happening somewhere.
Oh.
Oh my god. Also, I don't want to assume it's the same guy.
Yeah, for all we know, just happened to be the exact same starting letter.
Yeah. Could have been. Completely different guy. Yeah. Although, let me ask. Your Jay, was he a tall man?
No, he was around my height actually.
How tall are you?
Yeah, he was only a little bit taller than me, and I'm like 5'2".
I'm saying nothing.
That said everything. That fucking bratty face. I know it anywhere.
Yeah.
You want to play the brat game? I can win this, Jack.
Yeah. I'm not challenging. I ain't stepping to the throne. You know, forget that. I don't need that. I got my own throne I need to fucking be handling. I need to be challenging that one.
Oh. Been the same person then.
Oh man.
The people you know.
We're laughing at somebody's pain. We're terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, oops. Actually. Oops.
Oh. Man, speaking of laughing at somebody's pain, so I'm assuming you know who Milo Yiannopoulos is, right?
Cunt face, right?
Yeah, cunt face. Yeah, that's him. You know.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh my god. There's this
The next leave Brittany alone face, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that
Oh.
picture of him?
Oh, I love that picture. That is my favorite picture. You know, it gives me joy. You know, it's a marital aid. You know, it feels so good. It's a marital aid. You know, hey, if you're having marital troubles of the bedroom variety, look at that and you'll just, oh man, no. All of a sudden you remember what being a man is. I'm just saying, you know. I don't know if it works the same magic for women, because it might. I'm not sure. I have no direct experience of that. No. Because as a friend of mine once said, he's got a face made for anal.
I think that's worse than a face made for radio.
Yeah.
It's definitely worse.
Yeah.
You know, come to think about it, to divert back to MagFest for a second, that was actually the first place that we met in person.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
And I wasn't sure if you actually remembered that or not because you were kind of gone when I met you.
Oh, was I blasted?
Yeah, you were pretty up there.
Man, let's see, if it was that year, that was probably...
That was what, 2000 and...
That'd be like 2000...
11?
Yeah! Yeah, that'd be like 12 or 11.
Yeah, because I think I was either out of college or just about to end college.
Yeah, were you one of... Alright, here's the question. Were you hanging out with... I forget who you were hanging out with. Were you hanging out with Luke Spencer at the time?
Who?
Okay, not Luke Spencer, so it wasn't that
I
year.
got them heavy boobs, heavy boobs. Dance like dying stars, I got them heavy boobs,
No,
heavy
I was
boobs.
hanging with,
I can't run real far.
Chozo and Patrick.
Hey
and,
Jack, hope to join in the
level 0
stream for an
guys.
hour before I head to bed.
Oh, Pat Hazard?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
oh!
Yeah. No, yeah, that's right. I forgot that he was there too.
Got it! That's right!
Yeah, you swung by our suite just as we were wrapping up the party that we had, and
Yes.
sat outside the suite with us and spoke and like talked about something for a good hour.
Yeah. We talked about some random shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were hanging out with the Channel Zero guys?
Yeah.
Now I
That was,
remember
like,
this.
Our first like come together like convention that we all went to.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, I think that was one of the last good MagFests I actually had.
You know, same.
Yeah.
Actually, the one that I went to when I went to that play party was actually kind of shit.
Oh,
For
the
a
play
multitude
party
of different
one?
reasons.
Oh.
Yeah, for a multitude of different reasons.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine for the simple reason that, man, I don't know how to say it. The quality of the convention fetish party has certainly gone downhill.
No, it definitely has.
You know, like I still remember when I was like, God, like back in the early mid 90s. I remember what shit was like during that era, and that's one of those you had to be there kind of things. And I just don't know how else to put it. You just had to be there because it was one of those like you'd be doing some random thing, right? And this is how I discovered my first one. I was wandering a hall. I can't remember why I was there. I might have had a room on that floor. All of a sudden, there were these two girls. They were dressed head to toe in, like, you know, the fetish gear. And it was
Like
literally one of those, hey, could you...
shit like
Yeah.
that.
And it was literally a, hey, could you zip me up kind of situation. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And she's like, oh, hey, actually, you could probably help me get into this corset as well. And I'm like, sure. You know? So...
You asked.
Yeah. Since you asked. And she was like, okay, so we'll see you at the party. And in my mind, I'm like, wait, there's a party I am expected to be at.
Suddenly.
And I'm like, yeah, I was actually looking for it. Which room is it again? You know, and she's like, oh, it's the, yeah. Like, it's like, yeah, it's this room. And in case you forgot, the password is Aardvark. And I'm like,
That's a good password.
okay, yeah, exactly. It's a very popular safe word in the Maryland area. Let me just say that. And I was like, okay, come in. You know, the guy's like, who is it? And I'm like, Aardvark. Okay, come in.
Okay.
And, you know, like, and I'm sitting there going like, all right, what is about to happen? What am I about to see? And I was not disappointed. You know, first thing you see is in the center of the suite, the big X-Men bondage cross.
Oh, nice.
You know, off on one side, there is an obvious, like, I don't know what the name of the company is, and I don't know how else to explain it. But it was at this moment that I realized that there is a Mary Kay of dildos. There's like an Avon, and there's like an Amway of sex toys.
Wow.
Yeah. No joke. There's like a sex toy pyramid scheme somewhere. And because there was a demonstrator. She had like a little area with all her product like fucking spread out. And of course everyone was like, you know, trying stuff. Yeah. You know, and she's having to say things like, yeah, you could touch it, you could feel it, you can't use it though. If you want one though, I have one, that'll be $20.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a floor show model. You don't want to be using that for real. But if you just want to know how it, you know, feels in your hand. Yeah. You don't want to ride this particular one, but if you want to run one like that is pristine, $20. You know, shit like that. You know, someone's walking around with an electric wand, you know, like those things. Psst.
Oh, Hitachi? Yeah.
Yeah, is that what they're called? I just always called them the electric wand because I never owned one.
Nothing.
Oh. So why is it called the Hitachi?
I have no idea.
Okay. All right. I was like, did I miss a meeting? You know, like.
I just know that's what they're called.
Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. No, learn something new every day. Okay. So that's going on, and you know, like I'm a young guy, and everyone looks like they're having a great time. Yeah, who just fucking foxed his way in, you know, and there's one guy trying out a vibrator on this one girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there going, I don't know how else to explain it other than I entered curious cat mode. You know, when a cat just starts looking at you and is like, starts pawing at things, like lightly, like touch, you know. And the reaction I got was, it wasn't recoiling, and it was very much in the other direction, and so I just do the like, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not saying no, you know, like what do you fucking no.
If I get
Hitachi
yes,
makes
you get
many
yes.
products.
Yeah. She says yes. The answer is yes. And yeah, that was essentially my first play party experience. And I don't know, it's really weird because you know how you always like kind of like downplay your own experiences in your own head?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I always considered my escapades to be pretty like, you know, pedestrian. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, no, like not everyone does that, do they? That's not a situation an average citizen finds themselves in.
Yeah, not many fox can actually like slick their way into the hen house being invited by the hens.
Yeah, but that's exactly what happened. Because I don't know how to put it other than, no, that's the way in. That's the way in, baby. You know,
yeah,
like...
nowadays it's through vetting processes and stuff like that, which nowadays makes sense.
Well, here's the thing, there were vetting processes then. Like, have you ever, like...
Yeah, but I'm sure it's easier now.
well, I'm sure it's easier to vet people. It's I don't know if it's any easier to keep someone from getting in the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the real thing that they're looking for is trouble.
Yeah.
You know, and apparently in morally questionable circles, I don't look like I'm going to cause a problem. You know?
Yeah, you do have the innocent baby face going for you with
Yeah,
an
yeah.
alternative circle.
Yeah. Like, well, it's also one of those things where, like, this has happened several times. You know, it's like you walk in on the middle of a drug deal. You know, like movie level of drug deal, not like just, you know, you're hanging out at some guy's house on the hate and he fucking, you know, breaks out the pill collection. Like, we're talking like, okay, here's 5 kilos. You know, what do you mean you don't have all the money? You know, like that kind of shit.
Oh, wow.
Like, you walk in on that crap, it's just like...
You have led an interesting life.
Yeah. It's just like, who are you? I'm like, oh, man, I'm just with those guys down the hall, man.
Peace out.
It's like, what's your name? Oliver. It's like, wait, who the fuck is named Oliver? And I was like, my dad was named Oliver. Why don't you fucking back off? It's like, oh, you gotta tell me how to talk right now? And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Must meet aggression without escalating. Must meet aggression without escalating. And after a while, it's just like, okay. It's like,
okay, good. You get out.
yeah, it's like, yeah, you get to live. You know, like, oh my god. Yeah, turns out if you're really good, turns out if you're really good at getting into doors, like, you find yourself in very interesting situations. Man, but yeah, like, I always really liked those 90s fetish parties because they were just really fun. They were just really super fun, and
Can't relate to the 90s one. 'cause
what?
I said I can't relate to it being in the 90s, but for play parties now, for most of the part, I like them.
Cool. Like, let me guess. It's like it's not quite that wild anymore.
Dude, I was born in 1990, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Fair enough. I was getting laid when you were cum. I got it.
Kevin Smith. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, that is always a trip though. You know,
What,
I
finding
always.
out someone's age?
Yeah. Finding out someone's age. You know, because it
Doesn't help that I have perpetual baby face.
Yeah, but you're like 30. You told me you were like 33, I think, at this point.
Ooh, sir.
Wait, hold on.
Again,
See.
I was born in
Try-
1990.
You're born 1990, 10 year, 29.
8 plus 9.
28. Okay. Look, I'm born in January, so I calculate from there.
Oh, I was born in February, so not too
Shut
far.
up. Oh, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. But
Rat comes out.
God damn it, I'm in a spider's lair. This is not where I want to be. Yeah, like, yeah, those parties were really fun, and I think it doesn't hurt that I looked like the kind of guy who belonged there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still remember, like, that's how I got a lot of my work at White Wolf, actually.
You got what?
That's how I got some of the work I had at White Wolf, actually. You know, just sort of like, you know, it's one of those, like, you know, you find yourself in a meeting at a convention. It's like, hey, who are you? It's like, this guy told me to be here because it was a name I had heard, right? And they're like, okay, come in. Who can handle this? I can do that. Okay, let me get your address. Let me get your paperwork so everything's all squared above.
Meanwhile, in your mind, you're like, yay.
Yay! You know, I get $100. Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, like no, pay has never been good. Pay's never been good. That's why the people who get really far are the people who can do art really quickly.
True.
You know, like, oh my god, like have you seen Anastasio's work? He's another guy who hangs out on the stream.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god, okay, on Twitter he's Anastasios Gnosis. He works at... He used to work at Rhythm and Hues, now he works at Blizzard. And he's worked at Blizzard for the last, like, I think, like 3 to 5 years. He also worked on Cabin in the Woods. He was one of the monster creators for that movie.
Oh, the monsters in that movie were really weird.
Yeah. Like...
What was it?
Anastasios Gnosis. There should be like... It should be like a red circle with like a cartoon bald guy.
I have a feeling I'm spelling this wrong. I'm also looking on Twitter. Maybe that's my issue. I can spell. Okay, I'll find him later.
Yeah, but that guy is an art beast. There is no non-beast mode for that man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not when it comes to art. Like, he'll be like, you'll look at things in his sketchbook and you're like, yeah, I did this on, you know, it's not that great. I did this during lunch. You know, I only had about 45 minutes. And you look at it and you're like, I hate you.
Really?
Yeah, you're like, I hate you. This is what you come up with in 45 minutes with a pencil and a piece of paper. It's like little monsters, like, it's like fully, like, not fully painted, but definitely like rendered, like a rendered drawing of a creature in 45 minutes. Like, he can literally go and fucking start making a model for the monster off of what he drew. You know, which is his big thing. Like, he's mainly hired as a 3D modeler over there. He did the he just did the oh god, what was the name of that guy? Yeah, okay, so there's a Doomfist maquette that's about to be offered by Blizzard. He created it. He's the guy who made it. He's the guy who built it. You know, so when you're like, oh my god, there's this great new, like, fucking Doomfist fucking statue that Blizzard is selling for, like, however much money they're gonna sell it for. Like, he made that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's his work. And his work is all over the place. You know, he just, oh god, who did he design? I forget what character he designed. He designed a lot of stuff for, like, World of Warcraft and Overwatch. You know, so he's really cool dude. I really love him. He gave me, like,
find him on Twitter.
yeah. He gave me a 3D printing of one of his models from Cabin in the Woods, which was the bat. Because he created the Bat Dragon.
I remember the bat. Oh, the bat creeped me out more.
Yeah, the Bat Dragon. He was like, yeah, I had this. Do you want it? And I'm like, yes. It's a little. And I'm like, this is great. And he's like, well, it wasn't that hard because I made it off the same model. And I'm like, what do you mean you made it off the same model? He's like, yeah. That sculpture is 3D printed from the movie's model. I'm sitting there and I'm going like, this is one of the greatest things.
Like, do you want it?
It's like, do you want it? You know, like, yes. Yes. Should I give you money? Because I should give you money, but I do not have money. Just, just have it. You seem to appreciate it. I'm like, I will. You know?
Probably more than you think I would, yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's hanging up on my wall. I bring it, I tell people about it all the time because it's fucking amazing. You know? And probably the funniest moment that I had with Anastasia, the one with, this is also like the same trip where he gave me the that creature, the bat dragon sculpture. Have you seen the movie The Ritual?
Yes, I love that movie.
Okay.
I read the book. I love it.
Oh, it's a book?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The book is. I don't want to be that person, but the book really is better than the movie.
Oh man, is that how the Jotun is described? Or did
Now that I think about it, I don't really remember a super physical way that he described
the creature?
The creature, the other god, basically, in the book. He because every time it would come up, it really would be like this mass of shadow that would just be randomly attacking them in the book.
Oh.
But because I saw the movie and then read the book, I already knew what to put to the creature. So
right.
My mind was kind of skewed by that.
Yeah. Well, like the thing about it was, oh wait, was The Ritual a Richard Bachman book? Hold on.
I feel bad. I don't remember the author.
I better. If it was a Bachman book, I'm an idiot. Rage, The Ritual book. The Ritual, Adam. No. Okay, no, it's by a guy named Adam Neville. So no. Now a major motion picture. Yep. Okay, it's by a guy named Adam
It's
Neville.
still on Netflix.
Should be. It's a Netflix original movie.
Yeah, pretty sure it's still on there.
But when I saw the monster at the end, I was looking in the credits for his name. Because I was like, oh my god, that looks like a monster he made.
Yeah.
It looks like a monster he would have made. And I'm like, did he? So I ran into him at Monster Palooza, and I'm like, dude, have you seen The Ritual? And he's like, yes.
Oh.
Yes, I've seen it. And I'm like, oh, what's wrong? He's like, no, nothing. I'm just kicking myself for not having designed that creature myself.
Oh.
He's like, it's got a torso for a face. Why didn't I think of that? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. He's like, no. It's a great movie. Great movie, great monster.
You're good. And he starts crying.
Yeah, he's really upset because the monster blew him away, and he was like, why? I never would have thought of that. Why didn't I? I should have thought of that. That's the kind of thing I should think of. Should have thought of. Because he also worked on Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, really?
And yeah. He's one of the reasons that a lot of those monsters look so weird and Miyazaki-like, because that's what he does. Like the like the deer that has the antlers that turn into fucking branches with flowers on them. Like that's the kind of thing that he does. Woo! And on top of that, he models elves, orcs, and superheroes for Blizzard and makes bank. Fucking bank.
It's too far away.
He's. Last time I was talking to him, he's like,
he was like, here, you want this figure?
yeah. He's also talking about the one thing he doesn't like about the job is that he has to drive an hour and a half, each way. So it's 3 hours worth of commute, from where he lives just north of LA all the way to Irvine. And yeah, he's not a big fan of it. And he's like, so I come home, I'm tired, I got no time for, he's like, I have no time for, my wife, who we've also become friends with. And he's like, I can't take it. I can't, it's the commute. If I get rid of this commute, everything's going to be fine. He was like, it was so bad that there was a period of time where I was actually considering just renting another apartment closer so that I could at least come home on the weekends and not be exhausted.
Ooch.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, then what happened? He's like, well, then I got a promotion. Now we're just going to buy a place.
Oh, there you go.
I'm like, oh, okay. Not nice if you can get it,
Especially California prices good night.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, Irvine ain't like North Hollywood, but oh my God, California prices are. I don't know what to tell people because I'm like, studio apartments here are like almost $2,000 in San Francisco. I'm sitting here.
That, New Jersey is more or less the same price too.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
What the
Connecticut is actually cheaper than New Jersey right now, rent-wise.
I believe it. Well, all the suburbs are emptying out. The reason all the real estate in the suburbs is going cheap is that no one wants to live there. There are no jobs there. There's no economic growth there. Like ironically, like me and and no one just wants to live there in general. Like me and the Countess have considered moving because we're like, well, if we can get a house for like $800 a month, that's like half of what we're paying in rent.
Oh yeah, forget it.
yeah, forget it. But then we're living in like upstate New York.
Yeah, it depends on.
Then we're living in Michigan.
I actually have a ton of family over by upstate New York. They like it, but
yeah.
I've also been there since the 90s.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, think of where you'd be living, think of what's, going on. Because most of our friends in the area now live, most of the friends we have in the area now live in Oakland. And that's not so much of a problem, but rent of Oakland has gone up because, how to put it, lots of white people moving in. White people with money moving in, so all those rents went up. And they're not as bad as San Francisco, but it's still not good. Like my friend Jace, I know he still pays like $500 a month for like his bedroom. And it's like, Jesus, man. Jesus. Oh, man. So maybe I should let you go.
Yeah. It's
getting a little late. No problem.
Yeah, 1:46 here.
Yeah. It's 10:46 over here. I'm probably gonna call it a night online anyway.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh yeah, no problem. I had a great time. Hey, Blue Eyed Demon, how you doing? Yeah. I just thanks for coming on. I know this is like a super short one, but like I kind of after shit's been going on, I've been needing like to kind of like ease back into it this time. Can't just go charging back like I used to could.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling the same way right now, trying to ease back into streaming and video editing.
Yeah.
Getting back into the mood is hard.
It is. You do have to force yourself a bit,
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lala, thank you
for... If I could work on the script that I have, that'd be great.
What's it for?
I'm getting back into reviewing history in films and documentaries, and the first one that I wanted to start getting back into is for the Party Monster shockumentary and movie. Have you not heard of it?
No.
Oh my goodness, I thought this would be like right up your alley.
Oh wait, is this the one? Is this the mockumentary starring Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah.
I have seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Documentary is really, it's like my favorite documentary ever.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's it about?
It's Party Monster, the shockumentary, and it's really interesting.
Is it about the real guy?
Yeah. It's about Michael Alec.
Whoa.
And they actually just did a follow-up of that because Michael Alec was released in 2014. And they did a follow-up of that, of him integrating back into the real world.
Oh my god.
And that's going to be like the follow-up video that I do after this one.
What? I don't know how people like that
yeah, it is
come.
on Netflix right now.
Really? Oh man,
yeah,
maybe.
the follow-up of him being released, that one's on Netflix. I don't remember.
Oh my god, I love that book.
That guy is fascinating because how to put it? He is the guy everyone worries that you're going to run into.
Mm-hmm.
He just absolutely is. The guy's just a complete fucking psychopath. You know, he's a complete psychopath. And how to put it? Yeah, he's the raver that everyone warns you about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's like, no, don't get involved with that guy. Like, there's something, like, fucking wrong with him. There's something wrong with him and his whole fucking crew. You know, like, just stay away. And, of course, all of a sudden you find yourself fucking burying bodies. You're like, how did we get here? You know? Like,
pretty much, yeah. And
yeah.
That's why the first review coming back and sort of integrating, you know, my storytelling skills. I want to start with those two movies.
Those are
because you
good.
can have so much fun going off of the drug paraphernalia and, you know, being drugged out of your gourd sort of side of dark comedy.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Like maybe I should.
Fucking script done.
One day I'll tell you the story of talking to aliens at one point. You met a man who's been so high he's spoken to aliens. Well, now you have.
You know, next time you want me on stream, we can start with that one.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah, okay. All right, we'll do that. We'll just start with the alien story.
Yeah, let's just leave everybody on that cliffhanger.
Yeah. All right. Night, everybody. Y'all take care. I will see you. I will hopefully see you on Sunday. I think we're gonna be. I know that for those of you who know the Horseress, like she's gonna try to come on. So all you Slut Pit regulars, like please be there. And I will talk to y'all later. Y'all take care. Oh, Critic of Chaos. I donate tonight. Prefer you were just going to relax for a while. Can get on next week. Yes, you can, Critic. Yes, you can.
Yay.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all take care.